Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome back to a brand new video. And today I'm kind of recording off of my PlayStation 4. So hopefully the mic quality is alright or whatever. But I just wanted to make a quick little video talking about my rankings of Phase 4 and just my overall opinions on Phase 4, I guess. So on Saturday at Comic-Con they kind of announced their entire Phase 4 slate, and then they gave a little bit of a teaser as to Phase 5. But I'll do a Phase 5 video when it's officially announced. But for now, we're gonna start off with the TV shows, and we're gonna start with we're gonna go from least exciting to most exciting, is the order that I have chosen. So in fifth place is Loki, and yeah, like I like Loki alright, but like it's based off of the Endgame version of him, where he's stolen the Tesseract and is now, I guess, changing things throughout time. And to be honest, it doesn't really sound like an interesting show to me. It would have been more interesting if it was like Thor and Loki, and it was them as like children or something, and like we saw their relationship from a young age, and then it kind of, you know, weaved its way into what we see in the movies, where like in Thor Ragnarok, Thor talks about his relationship with Loki as a child. You know, if it was events like that that would make, you know, their relationship more interesting, I think it would be an interesting concept. But for it to just be a Loki TV show where he's just messing things up throughout time, and it doesn't even really matter because it's not even in our timeline, you know. So yeah, it's not really that interesting of a concept to me. So that's why it's in last place. And fourth place we have the What If series, which is their new animated series. And to be honest, I'm excited for it for sure. I'm excited about all of these. Don't get me wrong, but for one thing, it's animated, and secondly, it's not really canon in the MCU. This is more of a, you know, like what if scenarios. You know, I think the first episode is Peggy Carter getting the super serum instead of Steve Rogers. So I mean, like, the concepts are cool and all, but for it to just be for it, like, I guess it's okay that it's a TV show, but it doesn't really, for it not to be canon or anything, and for it to not really have the original actors, which we are getting some voice talent back, but it just doesn't really it interests me for sure, but it's just not really a good concept, I don't think. But hey, you know, maybe my opinion will change, maybe the show will be great, I don't know. Coming in third place is Hawkeye, and this is where these next three shows are the ones that I'm super excited for, Hawkeye being one of them. It was confirmed to have the introduction of Kate Bishop in the MCU, so that's really exciting. More specifically Hawkeye in general, I believe that this is going to be Hawkeye's last outing in the MCU. I don't think that after his TV show he's going to be showing up again. I think Kevin Feige has said that this next Avengers movie in Phase 5 is going to be a very different team than what we're used to. So my guess is that this the Hawkeye show, and then like Thor Love and Thunder, and then like Shang-Chi, and then all of them are setting up for future Avengers movies. So like the Thor is going to have Jane Foster Thor, so I assume that like Jane Foster will take over Thor's mantle, and you know, Kate Bishop will take over Hawkeye. So I'm very excited to see her training and how she's, you know, going to be trained by Hawkeye to become an Avenger. So that's going to be really interesting in my opinion. And yeah, honestly, like just to see Jeremy Renner come back, it's going to deal with some of the repercussions of him as his time as Ronin. So that's going to be really interesting. I didn't think that Ronin was as fleshed out as he should have been in Avengers Endgame, but hopefully this will give us more of a little bit more of a background on him. So I'm very excited for that one. Coming up next, these last two that are my most excited for are really interchangeable. I'm really excited to see what they do with both of these series, but just for sake of making a list. At number 2 we have Falcon and Winter Soldier, and yeah, I mean it's Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan. You know, we got to get a new Captain America footage, and you know, just I want to see what the new Captain America does. So I'm very excited to see how Winter Soldier plays into it as well. But you know, I'm more excited to see Captain America. But I'm really just I bet it'll be really funny, and I'm really excited to see what adventures that those two get into, and you know, maybe like one of the concepts I think that they should do that would kind of ease the fans that wanted Bucky to be Captain America is what you could do is have like in Civil War when Bucky and Steve were fighting Iron Man at the end. What you could have is like something like that. They were like passing the shield to each other. I think something like that would be a really interesting concept. So that way, you know, it's sure like there's a dude who's actually Captain America, but you could have people who wanted Bucky to be Captain America can also they can see him with the shield a little bit. So I'm really excited to see that. Baron Zemo's coming back as the villain. Daniel Bruhl, I think. There was a leaked photo, or not a leaked photo, but a photo that he put on his Instagram, and it was him in the comic accurate purple mask. So I'm very excited to see what they do with Baron Zemo going forward. And then at number 1 is WandaVision, and yeah, I agree that the name's dumb, but I'm very interested in the concept of a Scarlet Witch and Vision series, not only because I want to see how Vision comes back, but because it directly ties into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and I want to see how that happens, because for a show that's mainly going to be about, I'm guessing, Scarlet Witch and the Vision, it'll be interesting how this ties into a whole multiverse event. So I'm very excited that on that front, I guess I'm very excited to see that. So yeah, that's the main reason. Also, Scarlet Witch is one of my favorite Avengers, so I will. That's why it's number 1, to be honest. But yeah, so moving into the movies now, we're gonna talk about. We're gonna go the same order, you know, from least favorite to or least excited to most excited. So coming in at number 5, we have Black Widow, and man, like I feel like they waited too long to do a Black Widow movie. It's just it's not the right time anymore. She's already dead, and it doesn't feel natural either. Like it's based at the it's after Civil War, so it's before she and Steve and Sam go on the run. So she goes back to Budapest or whatever, and we're supposed to get like glimpses of her backstory or whatever, but it just doesn't seem that good of a fit, especially right after Civil War. I feel like if they were to do a Black Widow movie, it should have been before like Iron Man 1, like how they did with Captain Marvel. So yeah, I think the cast looks great. We got Scarlett Johansson back as Black Widow, and then a couple of other new people. We're getting Red Guardian in the movie, but overall I'm not very excited for this one, and it's a weird movie to kick off Phase 4 with. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not looking forward to it. Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to it, but it's not that exciting to me. So yeah, moving into number 4, we have the Eternals. I'm very excited to see what they do with Eternals. This is a movie that's been rumored for a long time and speculated for a long time, and just anything, it's nice to have confirmation that this is actually happening. But yeah, the Eternals are set like billions of years back or whatever. I don't really know. They're like they're like bred from the Celestials or something like that. I don't really know, but yeah, the cast looks great. I'm very excited to see what they do with them. It's just don't know much about them, so hopefully my opinion will change. I don't really know how they're gonna fit into the modern day MCU. I know that they live forever. That's why they're called the Eternals. But yeah, I wonder why they haven't. You know, it's like it's the same kind of questions that happened when you like when Captain Marvel was first introduced. It was like, why wasn't she at the Battle of New York? It's like, you know, where were the Eternals during Thanos's, you know, entire plan, you know, with the snap and all that. So I'm excited to see what they do, but they got a lot of explaining to do. Coming in at number 3, we have Thor: Love and Thunder, and I'm not too wild about the first 2 Thor movies. Thor Ragnarok is easily the best Thor movie, so it was a little strange that they gave Thor a 4th movie. I guess they really had, seeing as how he's really the only solo original that's still alive, but it's really weird to see what is considered to me one of the weakest trilogies get a 4th movie, but you know, it's gonna have a lot of interesting things going forward. Like I said earlier, when I was talking about Hawkeye, it's gonna introduce Jane Foster Thor, which is it's pretty exciting. I'm not on a lot of people are like really hating on the idea of a female Thor, but honestly, like I kind of like the idea, so I'm very excited to see what they do. Natalie Portman's coming back as Jane Foster, which is a little weird. They offered her the hammer, and then she, you know, decided to come back to Marvel. But I'm very excited to see what they do with the rest of Asgard. I assume that this is the final Thor movie, unless we get more Jane Foster Thor movies. So I'm very excited to see what they do with that. I'm also curious, I'm guessing that this is going to have multiverse stuff to go into. I assume that this will kind of be the entryway into the multiverse, and then Doctor Strange will just fully explore it. Because I don't see Jane Foster getting the hammer in this dimension. It just doesn't work with the current timeline. So they're going to have to do some multiverse hopping, I assume. But so I'm very excited to see Chris Hemsworth back as Thor again, and an interesting thing is I want to see, one of the things I really hope they don't skip is him dealing with the PTSD that he still has from the Endgame events. You know, like they went back in time and they won and all, but like he should still be fat. He should still feel like now he can actually lose. So that's something I really want to see going forward, and maybe like Jane Foster's really a younger version of himself. Like he sees a younger version of him in her, so he has to teach her. You know, you may be mighty, but you might lose. You know, so hopefully that'll be a good character development for her. But moving into to number 2, hang on, let me get my list out. We have Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi, man, I'm very excited to see what they do with Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is I'm gonna guess like a martial arts type movie, and I'm very excited to see that. Iron Fist, I don't think really did the martial arts side of the MCU that good of a job. Like I don't think it did the MCU's martial arts justice. So I'm very excited to see how they introduce Shang-Chi into this world, and just what they do. So yeah, and also the Mandarin's coming back, the 10 Rings. He's gonna fight the real Mandarin now. One of my theories is that with Iron Man gone, the real Mandarin's gonna come out and just start, you know, attacking people again. So I'm very excited to see how Shang-Chi is gonna deal with the Mandarin. I know he's like, the Mandarin's like his dad in a version of the comics. I don't know if they'll go that way or not, but I'm very excited to see what they do either way. So and then number 1, is, a lot of you may guess, is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And this movie, it just, the concept is so interesting. We have Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch just going through the multiverse. You know, they're allowed to just do the wacky now. With the first Doctor Strange, it was more of an origin story. They couldn't really get into the wackiness that is Doctor Strange and some of the adventures he goes through. But this movie sounds like it's like ripped straight out of a comic book, and I'm very excited. Also, Nightmare is the villain, and Nightmare is going to be super interesting. This is the first MCU horror movie too, so I'm very excited to see what kind of horror elements they're going to get into for a PG-13 movie. But yeah, I'm very excited to, the cast seems great. I don't know, I don't think they've cast Nightmare yet, but just having Elizabeth Olsen and Benedict Cumberbatch in a movie that's not an Avengers movie, and really giving the two characters time to shine on their own is going to be super interesting. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you all like the way that it's structured. I might go back to my old ways, but I really wanted to record a video on my PlayStation just to see how it works. So if you like it, give it a thumbs up, and if you don't like it, tell me what I can do better in the comments. But with that being said, that's all of Phase 4 ranked. Yeah, I'm very excited for this phase. There are a few projects that I'm kind of iffy on, but I'm sure they'll be great. The MCU is one of my favorite franchises, so I'm very excited to see what they do. And yeah, so that's going to do it for this video. Like I said, if you have some criticisms about my setup, my gaming, or not my gaming, but my audio, let me know down in the comments below, and try to make it better for the next one. But like I said, I really wanted to see what it was like to record on my PlayStation. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.